Hello, my friends. I want to talk a little bit today about a controversial subject, marijuana. Now, this plant you're seeing in the background is definitely not a marijuana plant. It's just a beautiful green plant that I thought I would use it for my theme picture for this recording. Today, I was listening to public radio, which is one of my favorite media. They seem to be a bit more unbiased than, the likes of some of the other mainstream TV stations and radio stations. So I like to listen to it. They have some regular people all the time talking and giving their opinions, etc. And I just find it very interesting and informative. So today they were talking about marijuana. Now, I was born and raised in Jamaica. And to be honest with you, I don't even know what a marijuana plant looks like. I know the smell of marijuana. If I smell it being smoked or even being boiled to make tea, I can identify it, but the plant I can't. Many people tend to think that all Jamaicans know marijuana plant and all Jamaicans smoke marijuana, but that's not true. It's a very, very small percentage of Jamaicans that know the plant or has ever used the plant, whether as tea or to smoke. When I was growing up, I think when I was about 12 years old, my aunt's husband was a chronic asthmatic. He had chronic asthma. And he was a police officer too. I remember that. And I remember that every time his asthma flared up, he would find himself a Rasta man who grew marijuana up, or ganja as we call it, up in the mountain somewhere. And he would find one of these Rasta men and got himself some ganja, and he would boil it to make tea. And that is what would get rid of the asthma. And I would say he probably had an serious asthma attack maybe every 4 or 5 months. And that's what he would do. He would boil a pot of ganja tea and he would drink a cup of it like 2 times a day. And I remember one time he gave me some. I was maybe about 12 or 13. He gave me a cup of the ganja tea. And I kid you not, I think I slept for about 24 hours. I was stoned. So yes, that's one of the definite side effects of ganja. Okay, it will make you very, very drowsy. But my uncle always used it when his asthma flared up. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because on public TV, they were interviewing some farmers who were farming ganja and also hemp. Okay, and they were farming ganja legally and hemp legally in parts of the United States. I think it was Colorado. And they were, the plan was to sell these plants to pharmaceutical companies that are making or that make CBD. Now, I didn't know what the CBD is, but I remember probably about 6 months ago, my friend told me that she gives her dog CBD. The dog has chronic arthritis, and that she gives her dog CBD, and her dog no longer has arthritis. And I really didn't even research what this CBD is. Also, a family member of mine was having a lot of sinus inflammation problems. And she told me recently that her doctor, her medical doctor, prescribed CBD oil, and that she was no longer experiencing the sinusitis. So when I did a little bit of research, I found out that CBD is derived from hemp and or ganja slash marijuana. It does not have the effect of alteration of the mental status. The CBD is the anti-inflammatory part of these plants. But I thought to myself, so many years the Rastafarian man in Jamaica had been talking about the health benefits of ganja and talking about the healing properties of ganja for so many years, because Rastafarians in Jamaica, Rastafarianism is a religion out of Ethiopia, and they believe in smoking ganja, and they are plant-based eaters. They do not eat meat, and they're always talking, for as long as I can remember. I'm in my 50s right now, and as long as I can remember, the Rasta man has been saying ganja is medicinal, is healing, it has many healing properties, it should be legalized, etc., etc. But it never happened. A couple years ago, when I went to my homeland Jamaica, I found out that ganja or marijuana has been decriminalized. Not legalized, they call it, but decriminalized. And in a nutshell, what that means is that in Jamaica is that you can have up to 3 ounces of ganja on your person or in your home at any one time, no more than 3 ounces. And you will not be arrested for having it. You can smoke it, you can use it to make tea, up to 3 ounces. And also you can have, I believe it's either 5 or 7 plants, ganja or marijuana plants on your property. And if the police came there, they wouldn't bother you because it's been decriminalized, and you can have, I think it's 5, it could be 7, 5 to 7 ganja plants or 3 ounces of ganja on your person. Now, many pharmaceutical companies all over the world have flooded my homeland Jamaica, buying up marijuana or establishing marijuana farms so they can extract the medicinal component of this marijuana and use it for CBD or medical marijuana or whatever, because it is said that Jamaica has some of the best ganja or marijuana in the world. Now, Bob Marley is well known across the globe, and he was definitely a ganja smoker. And there's a village in St. Anne where he was born. I think they call it Bob Marley Village, where for years tourists could go there and smoke as much ganja as they wanted to, and no one would bother them. But now, whether you're Jamaican or a visitor, you can have 3 ounces of ganja on you. No police will bother you, and you can have a few plants on your property and no police will bother you. And when I heard these farmers in the United States, I think some were South Carolina and some from Colorado, talking about growing marijuana for medicinal purposes, etc. I had to sigh, because for so many years the Rastaman got a fight, and now because there's money to be made in this business, they can openly talk about it on radio and whatever, and farm it and all of that stuff, because there's money to be made. Bottom line, money. But like I said, in my homeland, marijuana has been used for um, asthma and bronchitis for years. I know folks have smoked it or drank the tea for pain management. Okay, and also for sleep. And just like all the other beautiful green plants in the world that God has provided, they all have medicinal properties. What I believe that whatever illness could befall us, God has provided a plant to heal us. Whatever it is. All right, so I'm not telling anyone to go smoke ganja or drink ganja tea. I'm just sharing information with you. That's it. Because I don't smoke ganja and I don't drink ganja tea. That one time when my uncle shared it with me, to be honest with you, that was the only time I've ever tried it because it made me so sleepy. I would be afraid, honestly. I don't really have a problem with sleep, so there'll be no need. And where I live in the United States, ganja or marijuana is still illegal. So I wouldn't be touching it with a long stick. It's not worth it. All right, take care. God bless you. And just information sharing with you. Take care. God bless.